Welcome back, beautiful souls. This is Wow, Women of Wisdom with Denise and Amy. A space where women of all ages come together to share stories, grow in truth, and discover what real joy looks like. So take a deep breath, open your heart, and let's step into today's wisdom together. Hello, ladies.
Hey.
How you doing? Key, I think you there?
I'm there. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yeah, I
here.
can.
All right.
Is it kind of glitching for y'all or no? That just my side?
That's all you, boo.
Sorry.
But it looked good. It looked good. I checked online, so it's good. All right, we good. Good gracious. So how was y'all day today? Nanny?
Mine was good. Actually, it was better than it had been in this past week. Man, I don't know. I think I'm just ready to retire. That's what it is. I don't work no more. So it's been like heavy on me, but today was good because my boss bought us lunch. So I
Good.
take a free meal. That's always
I know, right? What about you? How was your day, Key?
It was good. It was good. I think I'm still on a high from Saturday, so I think my
Mhm.
week has been good so far. It's
Congratulations.
still early. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yes. So welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. As we do every week, we love getting on here talking to you all and love getting the feedback and all that type of stuff. It makes us smile from ear to ear. So thank y'all for that. I know a lot of people can't just jump on given that we got duties, kids, and stuff to get to. So the ones that go back and watch and give us our feedback, we love it. And the ones that engage during the live, we love that as well. Today, we're going to be continuing our conversation around resilient women. Hey, Mama. Um, and I'm so happy and excited because I have here Miss Key. This is our special guest today. She is
Hey.
a mom. She is a cosmetologist, a barber, a professional security professional, a youth mentor, and a proud MSK sister graduate.
Woo-hoo. That's the biggest title right now.
That's the biggest title. So Key, I want you to kind of tell them what we experienced together and what happened this past Saturday, because some people don't know.
I mean, we graduated,
Yeah.
MSK 11, stand up. Absolutely. Like I said, I'm still on a high from it. It's awesome just to be able to formulate a sisterhood and work on those goals, like personal goals and just growing. Like it's been amazing. Amazing 8 weeks. Absolutely.
Yes. What are we gonna do with our Saturdays now?
I don't know. I figured we need to like figure out a brunch or something. Like
Yeah.
we got to get together or something on a Saturday. Like we made this time for 8 weeks, so sometime at least once a month we should be able to make some time.
That may be your calling to, hey, if you could do it for 8 weeks, then you need to make that your me time or your
Hmm.
get together time going
Yeah,
forward. Yeah.
I
I
think
know.
that's important.
Really, we did a lot of growing together, a lot of laughing, a lot of crying, a lot of growing. So, we definitely have been continuing that conversation and connection. So, I'm
Yes,
just happy to have y'all. Like y'all, real life are my sisters, and
yes, I love
congratulations
it.
to us. We did the work, and I'm just so proud of us.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so proud.
So this month is Women's History Month. So we're continuing that conversation around the resilient woman, as mothers, as women in general, professionals, all of that. We have a lot of titles that we hold. And, I just want to ask you, Keith, like what does resilience look like for you?
Showing up when you're tired, when you're stressed out, when you feel like you can't go on, and you find that little bit of strength just to carry on your next activity or your next day. And still chasing your goals, even if little obstacles get in the way. Just still trying to like hold yourself together. I think that's showing resilience.
Yeah. So didn't you recently just get licensed for what was it for?
My barbering Friday,
Yeah.
I passed my test. Yeah.
So let's congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations. So you've been doing a lot. You've been mommying, you've been doing MSK, you've been going to school. Like
I was getting tired just listening to the list. I was like, oh, yeah, I thought my life was busy. Yeah, this shit got me.
You got to keep going. Absolutely.
yes, that's beautiful. Hey Kia. Love you, girl.
Hey, yeah.
Hi, Miss Corlette. How are you? How are you? Thank y'all for joining. Yeah. So how do you feel day to day on the regular? How do you kind of feel with juggling your many titles, and how does that take a impact on you?
Um, Sometimes like before MSK, I felt overwhelmed. I'm not gonna lie, because I did not figure out how I could juggle everything. And as much as I have going on, it sounds kind of crazy, but I felt alone a lot of times. Like just trying to strive and push through to the next thing was very overwhelming. Like life be life, and like you was saying earlier, but you gotta like figure out where you can put you in the equation. And I think a lot of times when we're striving for our goals, we lose track of who we are and where our place should be. So I think like that's important. So I had to try to figure out, okay, I got this big plate, but how can I also include me on this plate? So I think that was the biggest thing, like going through like school or everyday work and challenging with my kids. Like I had to figure out how I can make a balance for myself. Because it'd be overwhelming sometimes, but just knowing like, okay, I have a goal in mind, I'm going to figure out how I can conquer this. That's the biggest thing.
So would you say, when you said that, so if it was feeling lonely, would you say that that was more a part of like not being able to truly like be amongst women, and kind of, just socially? Like I feel like sometimes we don't get together enough, not to
Yeah.
party but to just decompress sometimes, because like my kids, they haven't experienced the things that I experienced. So
Mm-hmm.
to them, like it's parenting still, but talking to other women like we're doing right now, it's therapeutic for me. I don't know if you
Mm-hmm.
all,
Yeah.
but I can get where you saying lonely, because it's kind of like, what time do I have to just be amongst my girls and just
Mm-hmm.
press, because I got basketball games to go to, I got this to go to, I got, and it's just like, man. So yeah, where is the time to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I think a lot of us lose track of when we're trying to, be all of these different titles. We forget, like, okay, let me remember who I am,
Mhm.
So I think that's one thing, especially in our culture, that we forget
Yeah.
and we
Yes.
don't praise enough.
I used to be so like, oh yeah, I want to be Superwoman. Like now, you can have her. You can have Superwoman. I'm
Yep.
okay.
Get
Yes.
somebody else to do it.
Somebody else
Yes.
do it.
Absolutely agree.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think that's whew, yeah, it can become a lot, and being new to the state, and then also being one of those, I think a lot of us could attest to not really knowing how to have relationship with other women, because it's the stigma around, really stemming for me, it stems from like being younger, the stigma
Mhm.
around women are messy, women are this, women are that, or whatever. And women can be, but men can too.
You are what you surround yourself with
Yes,
too. So
Yep.
if
exactly.
yeah, you
So
surround yourself with people who that's not what they want to get together.
Mhm.
mhm. And honestly, it's the environments that you attract these people in, And so um with me, like I've really had to put myself out there and get that dose of sisterhood.
Yes.
And MSK was one of like, oh my gosh, I was like, after the first or second, no, really after the first meeting, I was just like, this is where I need to be. Like this is, and all the women were so loving, so caring.
Yeah.
So, so it just really changed my mind about having that sisterhood and yearning for, other women to talk with and share our common experiences, get advice, and just have somebody to lean on. We need it. We're not
Yeah.
to be alone. So yeah.
I
Um
agree.
yeah, so I like to talk about emotions because I'm a very emotional person. Um are you, Key? Like are
I
you
am.
you are?
I'm a I call myself like I'm a teddy bear on the inside, but I have a very like like I pretend like, and
Yeah.
then 2 seconds later, like at our first meeting, I'm like 10 minutes in, I'm like listening to like the other women's story, and I'm like, oh my God. So but like having all boys, I have all boys. So having all boys, you gotta try to be like, you know what I mean? Like that let's go play football, but in the same sense, like it's okay to cry. Come here, come on, like lean
Yeah.
on mommy's shoulder. Like it's
That is
okay.
so refreshing to hear because I think a lot of the things that we deal with our men today is because they didn't get enough of that. Hey, it's okay to cry. It's okay to
Yeah.
have emotions. So it is so good to hear you say that you
Yeah.
give your boys space to
Oh,
be
100%.
emotional.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but the things that I've had to deal with men on this side of being grown is like, yeah, yeah, somebody should have hugged you a lot more
That's it.
and let you
That's it.
out a lot more. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I am very emotional. I'm a Virgo, so I'm very very like I'm a crybaby. But like I said, I'll be like this. That wasn't me. That wasn't me. So
So what is some of the things that you do to like overcome those moments when you become emotionally drained or just emotionally driven, like, when you got to make a decision and or just life is just like we've been saying life, and like what's some things that you do to overcome that emotional draining feeling that may occur at times?
okay, so this may sound really cliche, but I'm gonna be honest. Like, I really like dig into like God and my gospel music. Like, I'll tune the world out. I'll go in my room. I have a whole gospel concert, like to myself. Um, but no, seriously, like I promise you, like God is everything of everywhere that I need to overcome. If that makes sense. Like I've been through hell and high waters, and people be like, how do you still stand? And I'm like, God, like there's no other, you know what I mean? Like if you don't have God in your life, you're not gonna be strong. So it's like if you once you find what your relationship looks like with him or whatever you choose to praise, like that right there will give you a bigger thing. Because sometimes like, oh, our kids will help us keep going, or this and well, help us keep going. But at the end of the day, I'm like, it be me and God, and we be going through it. Like And I'm so serious when I say that. Like, and that's, I grew up in the church, so it's like that's what my faith, my foundation, and it's like I feel like he leads us through. You know what I mean? So that's what keeps me going, honestly.
It does. And, you know, I think that we don't share that with our kids enough too, because I, like my mom did, pray, and I know that she believed and stuff like that, but she did it in her own space
Got you.
more so than out in the open. And I'm trying to change that with my kids and pray more openly and praise God more openly and
Mhm.
call on God more openly in front so that
Absolutely.
they know where their source is and before it's too late. You know what I mean? Because I
Hmm.
know in a time frame I wasn't this, dependent on God as I am now. And it's because I didn't really see it as much as I think I would have wanted to, I feel like it would have helped a lot more. So
Hmm.
I'm trying to do that, like actually talk to my kids about that's where the source, like mama is not strong without him.
Yeah.
You are not strong without him. Like call
Hmm.
on him for everything, take everything to him. And I just think that, that helps with helping them to weather through storms as well in their life, because we're not always gonna be here.
We're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you talk about openly showing and letting your children know, like, hey, this is my source, this is where my strength come from, I think it's very important, because even though children, especially boys, like, you may not think they're listening, you may feel like that they're not grasping on to the concept or whatever, but they are. Like, I remember the baby Stevie coming to me wanting, asking questions that I didn't have answers to about God. And it's like, okay, his curiosity is peaking. Quinny did the same thing. And then,
I
like,
love it.
even when we were in the tornado, when we were in the closet, I was praying in my head, asking God to protect us. But he said, Mama, can we pray, in the midst
Mhm.
of the tornado? And I was like, yes. And so I prayed aloud, you know,
Mhm.
and so yeah, they definitely are listening,
Yes.
and we
Who better to introduce them to God than the people that they live with and see every day, and act that out too. You have to actually, give them the reason to say, hey, my mama does do this. She does depend on God. I can see that she actively does, and then things end up working out. So it must be, a good relationship there.
Hmm.
And all we need to do is to give that introduction, and their relationship will they will build their relationship with God how they see fit. And then that's most importantly, I try not to push, even like one thing we do, I'll be like, did you pray for your food? And every morning it's God bless you, have a good day, but I try not to overly, do it. But they know they'll come and pray about this, Mama. Pray for me about this. They don't like to pray out loud, but Mama, pray for me. Or pray with so eventually they'll know, like, Mama ain't gonna always be there. So like, now I gotta start praying and doing this and moving like this. So yeah. But I just love how how different we may appear, but how similar we are in so many ways. Just being a woman. So what is it that you feel like that we should talk about more as women? What is one of those biggest, hmm, I guess, burdens or struggles that we had that don't get talked about enough?
Um, our mental health, like that's probably the biggest thing. Um, and I know we've heard it before, but like, oh, black women are supposed to be this and black women are supposed to be that. But I'm like, we have to wear so many different hats at one time. But just to be able to just check on each other, or just be like, sis, you okay today? Like, you know what I mean? You got 9 different things going on, but are you okay? Like, and don't just say, yeah, I'm okay, because, you know, you got to be okay. But just having that, accountability partner, I guess, for your mental health, or just having someone that, you know, you can openly talk to, and they're not going to put your business out there. You know what I mean? Or as soon as you get off the phone, they be like, I don't know why she, you know what I mean? But, and I think that's just, you said it a little bit earlier, but that's just so hard for us as women to just trust kind of each other. And, that was one of the biggest things why I joined the class, because, you know what I mean, like, not having the girlfriends, quote quote, that's not going to tell your business, or not going to pass judgment on you, because they may know your story, or they be like, oh girl, you need to leave him, you know what I mean, but they don't really know the ins and out,
Yeah.
so I think that's important, on, like, honestly, just as us, like, as women, just to be able to check on each other, just, again, whether it's an hour, just to be like, girl, let's just go sip out of water. We don't even gotta talk about nothing. Like, if you gotta scream, I'ma scream with you. If you want to sit there in silence, I don't think we have that enough. Um, just as women overall.
I can agree with that too. I always tell Miss B that I found a counselor, a therapist, like maybe going on 4 years now, and she like my best friend.
I
I
love
don't
it.
know if she got another best friend, but I don't even care about who her best friend is. She my best friend. But seriously, she is, and it's like she was perfect for me, perfect for me. And her name is Andrea Garraway. And if you all need a counselor, she is, I'm sure, available. I'm just putting her out there. I don't even know
I
if she's
love
in
it.
other states, but I know she here in North Carolina is. And she is my best friend, but I just love her to death. And like, she's honest with me. Culturally, she gets me. She knows, what I'm, nothing against any other culture, but just sometimes when it comes to dealing with your brain, you have
Mhm.
to have someone that's walking alongside you that can that knows what you are experiencing and has maybe experienced it before or can relate, is
Yes.
relatable. And then when you talked about having a girlfriend that you don't even have to say anything, y'all can just sit next to each other. I have one of those as well, but I don't get with her enough either. And so it's always therapeutic there as well. And I think that that's what the Bible talks about when it says, you get alongside someone that may be experiencing something, or sometimes God takes you through things because he's going to need you to
Mm-hmm.
guide someone else. And so I always tell people that the things that we go through, it's not something that's against us. It's really for us, because it may not be specifically designed for you, but it could be because you are the stronger one to be able to be alongside someone else that may experience it, later. So definitely agree.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why it's important to share your stories with your fellow sisters so they don't feel alone. That, and I like that you pointed out mental health, because I think that's like number one.
Yes.
I believe it is. Just personally thinking that, I was telling my husband the other day that, when I went through postpartum with my first son, my first and second son, I really didn't have postpartum depression with my last baby, but I think it was because I was more mentally prepared, and kind of knew what was to come, and had my tools on hand to be able to navigate through it. But our real life used to be like, when the doctor asked me, "Are you feeling okay? Are you having any depression symptoms?" And I wanted to scream, "Yes, yes, I am. I can't do it. I can barely get out of bed. I feel like a horrible mother." But I said no, because my thought, and mind you, I was 18 and 21 when I had my boys, my thought around it was they will probably take my baby from me, or, maybe they'll put me on some medication, and our stigma against medicine and stuff, like, I don't wanna be on no medicine, and, they might think I'm crazy or something, so all this around that, and just really just suffering,
Mhm.
and even scared to tell my mama or my nanny, or and not because they would place judgment or anything, but because I felt like I had to be strong.
Mm.
I didn't see them crack or fold or whatever or anything. So I need to be strong. I got this, and da, 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 but and thank God that I did get through it. But oh man, it would have been a lot better and a lot. I say I don't even really be remembering the time when they were infants, because that's just how
Yeah.
out of it I was, so I thank you for bringing that up. I don't think we can talk about it enough, so
Yeah, we talk about mental health quite a bit
yeah.
in this space because we also have seen that it's not talked about enough. It's not
No.
addressed enough. And that's one of the things that we want WOW to do for women is to give them a retreat. And that's why we talked about that before we went live. But we want to have a place for a deserving woman to be able to go and just let her hair down, be pampered, be taken care of, be able to have an outlet to just release whatever it is and be able to talk to a professional. So we have so many ideas because again, we want to make it a big deal for us to take care of our mental health. I tell people all the time, like it's no different than when you are sick and you go to the doctor for a physical pain. Mental health is still something that needs to be addressed and needs to be checked on, as just as much as your physical health. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like because I'm not from here, but it is a lot different here. I think I shared in the group that there are a lot of Black doctors, and, like a lot of Black people that are successful in this area. And, where I'm from, you don't see that a lot. Like from being a kid, all my doctors and stuff were different races, and, which is nothing wrong with that, but I think that having someone that looks like you, that you can, relate to a little bit more and kind of understand you a little bit more is kind of important. So even I would say now, like, even if I was back in that space where it may not be a lot of people that look like me that are professional healthcare professionals, or, doctors and stuff like that, still like, don't give up on yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I've had doctors tell me to, speaking on how I feel about my mental health, to tell me to just pray more. And when I told my doctor here that, he laughed, and he's a man of God, but he was like, God, we're not in heaven yet, so we still experience hell on earth.
mhm.
And there are advancements, there are resources and technology and community out here that we are supposed to utilize. We all are entitled to it. And
Amen.
so yeah, just don't give up on yourself. Continue to reach out. If one doctor ain't working, you try another one. You have that right to.
You do, yeah, same as you do
Yeah.
any other time. You get a second opinion, you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
the same
You
process.
deserve the best prestige
Absolutely.
care, and,
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't know why I just said that, but yeah, I felt that on my heart because
Somebody needed it.
Yeah.
yeah. No, seriously,
Yeah.
seriously. I just really, yeah, yeah. But now key, like I know we've been together, and that's what kind of makes us sisters, right? We've went through some healing aches and pains together in this process. How does the woman from the start to now, like how does it look different, or how does it feel different for you?
So like for me, although like I talk, I think I said it in the class, like I am an introvert, extrovert. So a lot of like my story, even just in like MSK, I didn't really share. Like I didn't really, cause I'm just like, I know this is a no judgment zone, but I'm just not big on sharing my stories sometimes. So I
Mhm.
think that's helped me over the last several weeks. Like it's okay, because like you said, you don't know if someone else is going through the same thing, and God uses us, you know what I mean? So we run into situations where you're like, dang, I just went through something similar, you know, and just being able to speak. That was a big, like one of our meetings we had, and Miss Daphne was like, you need to speak. And I was like, yeah, I guess I do need to use my voice. But so yeah, so that's my biggest thing, like just using my voice, like being able to open up about who I am and not worried about, you know, being judged or anything. So that was the biggest growth that I have definitely been through in, you know, this last 8 weeks of journeys, for me anyway. And just being able to continue that on, and like wanting to seek more help, you know what I mean? Like, because that's us, like a lot of times we don't go to counseling, we don't go to therapy, we don't do any of that because we're like, oh, we got it, or I'm not gonna go sit on no couch and you know, I don't want somebody to hear my problems, but like it's okay, you know. um and if you don't have it the first time, like you said, try it again. You're gonna eventually have somebody that connects with you. And that's what I think MSK did for me, though. You know what I mean? Being able to connect with people and having stories and having sisterhoods where it's like, okay, people aren't judging you and it's okay. So that was my biggest growth, being able to find my voice, still finding my voice, but being able to be okay with speaking.
What about you, B?
Yeah, B.
Um, wow. Yeah. The sharing for real. Okay, let me get it together.
I
But
put you.
no, I would have to agree. It's sharing. We are very private for, some great reasons and some not so great reasons. You get what I'm saying? The fear of being judged and um really not having a voice. You get what I'm saying? I've always been very quiet, believe it or not. Uh and to myself, didn't I mean, I have friends. I don't want to say I don't have friends, but like, going out and being amongst people, like I'd rather be in my own little box, in my own little shell by myself with, my family, and that's it, you know. So I would say for me, what has changed is that yearn for just, having other women that I can talk to and share with. And when I would hear stories, I'd be like, she went through that too, or just, it's like we appear so different, but
Yeah,
we are definitely, we share a lot of things in common. So
Yes.
that made me more comfortable with opening up and sharing my story as well. And I will continue to share my story and not be ashamed, because you never know who can use it and who wants to abuse it. That's a them problem. And it is what it is. But yeah, I would say I'm more comfortable with sharing as well,
that's good. That's good.
and using my big girl voice.
That's good.
Yeah. But So I know we have some other couple. Me and Key have some other engagements to get into. So we're not going to be on here long tonight. But I think this was a great, great conversation. Was there anything else you wanted to share, Key, or have anything to say to the WOW audience?
I'm gonna plug MSK because and I'm so serious, even if it's not MSK or MBK, try, if you are feeling alone or if you feel like you don't have anybody to relate to, find a group, find a support system, because it is life changing. I'm not even sugarcoating it or anything like that, but it is, if you put yourself in a situation where you're willing to be vulnerable and be open, God will open so many doors for you. You know what I mean? And you just don't even realize it. So I think that's just so important stepping into this season. Just being able to say I need help, or I want to focus on me and I may need this extra push or this extra support. Try to find someone or a support group. I just feel especially with everything that's going on in the world and everything else, I just feel sometimes we just need that sisterhood or that brotherhood, and it's okay to be vulnerable. It is
Yes.
okay as adults to be vulnerable, and it is okay as adults to find friends and sisterhood and brotherhood. It's never too late. You know what I mean? So I just
Even
feel
though no
that's
friends is
important.
played out, it's whack.
Yes.
Yeah, what you
Absolutely.
said.
Yes. So that's my takeaway. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that, and
Thank
thank you for
you.
joining us. I really appreciate it. You can come on anytime you want to.
We
Let me
I
know.
appreciate
Like,
y'all.
hey, I want to say something, or just hit me up and you on.
Yeah, and you're cosmetologist, barber. Do you want to talk about put your
Advertise.
business out there? I know you're in the Maryland area,
I
but
am. I'm in
we
Glen Burnie area. I'm starting to take barber clients. Yeah,
you see
I'm from the Naval Academy. That's so funny. I'm from the Naval Academy area, born and raised. That's so crazy.
I was at the Naval Academy for 4 years. I was stationed there when I was in the Navy. That's
Okay.
my old
All
summer. And
right.
Bernie was my first apartment that I got when I first moved there, when I got stationed there in '06.
Oh
So
wow.
area around there, that's what I'm saying. That's
I
why.
love that. I love that. But yeah,
But yes,
I
so are you
specialize.
in Glen Burnie? Your business is in Glen Burnie? Oh yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. What's the name of your shop or salon?
So my business is called Key to the Crown. I work at a King's barbershop. So yeah, I'm taking clients as far as barbering, but I specialize in locks. I don't know how that fell into my lap, but um I
Or
specialize in locks.
I love
Okay, I might have to make a trip to North Carolina. Um
yes.
my sister lives down there, so I'll be down there.
Really? Okay, what part of North Carolina?
Durham. She's
Durham.
from Raleigh though, but yeah.
I was just in Durham. My daughter had a basketball tournament. We go there 3 days out of the week for basketball travel ball. So yeah, I know Durham pretty well as well. I would love to have you down here. We definitely gotta have
Absolutely.
her at the retreat.
That's what
Yes, I'm
yeah.
definitely coming to the retreat.
Yes.
Definitely coming to the retreat. So
Yes.
yes,
Awesome. Well, I just want to say thank you. I know that we gotta
thank
go,
you.
but I didn't want you to leave without I wanted to let you know that I really appreciate speaking with you and you offering your time to our platform.
Yes,
I have loved the conversation. I want more of it. And
yes,
I speak life into everything that you have in your heart that God is wanting to bless you with. I come alongside him and his will be done for your life. And
Man.
what is it? MSK, MBK. I
Mhm.
speak life into that as well. I hope that we
yes,
can maybe partner in the future with them because I feel like it's an awesome program. And
yes,
so I just want to encourage each and every one of us today and tonight and speak life into your days, your weeks, your months, and in your life,
yes.
kids, your family, all of that. Everything be great. You know what I
And
mean?
same to y'all. Y'all podcast is only the beginning. It's gonna
Yes,
be
ma'am.
amazing. I'm so proud of y'all as well. Keep
Thank
doing it.
you.
Keep
Amen.
doing it.
Amen. All right, you guys. Well, good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Love you.
All right.
All right.